Hey, welcome, welcome, welcome. Good evening, good evening. How's everyone doing? You reached Sports Talk, Coaches Talk, pretty much, and everything with Mike, and Coach Will. Before we get started, man, please hit that like button, man. Hit that subscribe button, everything, man, and ring that bell so you can see and hear what we do every so often and everything, man. Hey, Mike, man, I'm glad, man, that we finally got this going, man. It's been a while. We've been trying to, July 10th, we've been trying to get this stuff started, man, and try
Yeah.
to get back and kind of one another, man. And like I said, I want to try to give everybody a feel for what me and you, how we know each other, man. It's been about 6, 7 years, man, since we refereed, man, and got hooked up and everything, man, to why. And then that friendship, man, it's been going ever since, man. Like I said, we haven't spoke to each other in a while, but it's like brothers, man. Whenever you get on that phone and talk to each other, man, it just pick right back up where we used
Oh
to leave
yeah.
off and everything, man. So,
No
just
doubt.
tell
No doubt,
everybody,
man.
man. Oh no, man. Just tell everybody, man, a little bit about yourself and everything, man, because I've had about 4 or 5 podcasts, so they know me. But
Right, right.
I just want them to get to know you and everything, man. Where you from, man? Like I said, I've already told them. I said my boy Mike here, USC fan, so that's gonna be a little drama
Trojan, baby, Trojan.
for some of the OU fans that I have on the podcast, man. They hate Lincoln Riley, but like I try to tell them, man, that was a business decision for him and his family and everything, man. I don't fault the man for
hmm
going somewhere else and everything, man. But I think everybody's kind of upset the way he did it. But neither
Right,
here nor
right.
there. Neither here nor there, man. But just give him a little background, man, on you, man, and let him know where you're from.
Okay, I'm Mike. I'm from Inglewood, California. Being raised in Inglewood, we're a sports city, man. That's what we do. I went to Morningside High School, which has the greats of Byron Scott, Eldon Campbell, Lisa
Okay.
Leslie, Tina Thompson. We were a basketball school. I wasn't that good in basketball. My left hand didn't want to dribble right, so I could go strong right, but I couldn't go left, man. And my boy Randy Shanklin used to play me to my right all the time to make me go left. So my left got a little better. But
Right.
four star athlete at the Morningside. I ran track, played football, baseball, and basketball. After that, joined the Marine Corps, where I found out that I was a pretty good boxer. So I started boxing in the Marine Corps. Ended up
Yeah.
with a 38-3 amateur record. Um,
Okay.
After the Marine Corps, started in Minneapolis doing radio. So my boxing career kind of took a left turn because I wasn't getting up at 5 in the morning to put in those miles on the road. I was too
Right.
hungover from hanging out at 3 a.m.
Oh yeah,
So I love boxing
yeah.
too much to take it for granted. So I stopped boxing. Went to college at a later age as a non-traditional student. Was on the football team. Was on the in my 30s on the football team, and was on the golf team at Elizabeth City State University,
All right.
HBCU Viking Pride. And so ever since then, man, I've always been into sports. I know a lot of WNBA players. I know a lot of NFL players, basketball. Devin George is one of my good friends who played with the Lakers. So just a lover of sports, man. All sports, like looking at these Olympics, we see, man, I've been watching water polo. Earlier, I was watching horses jump over, equestrian. So, man, I'm,
Yeah.
I'm pretty much, I get into everything that's sports.
Okay. Well, hey, that's what's up, man. Like I said, we go way back and everything, man. Everybody
Yeah.
know that I play ball. Where I went to school at and everything. We've already, visited that down the road in my last podcast. But I want to try to jump into something, man, because like I said, I don't want to waste a lot of your time and my time and everything, man. But at the same point in time, I want everybody, man, get the feel for what we do and how we want to do
hmm
things and everything. Your team, but it ain't even really your team, man. I think you like me. You're just a fan of football. It doesn't really matter. I mean, we do have our certain teams, but we just a fan of football, man. We love the big
Yeah.
games. We love the rivalries and things like that, man.
hmm
Question for you. Do you think with USC and UCLA and Oregon and all those guys going to the Big Ten, do you think it's going to kill a lot of the rivalry games?
Well, no, because only game for USC is going to kill is the Notre Dame game. But they can. add Notre Dame to the schedule, but I don't know how that's going to work because, like we were talking earlier, you got 18 teams in the Big
Yeah,
Ten now. So that's
yeah.
9 teams. If they break it down 9-9, that's 8 other teams that you have to put on your schedule. So
Are they gonna do the 9 game schedule? Are they gonna play 9 conference schedules games,
no,
or are they
no,
gonna
I think
still
what they
keep the
usually play
same?
about 12. What they usually play about 12.
But 3 of those games are your cupcake games. You play
That's
super ready
true.
to
Yeah,
blind and all of
little
these and
warm up
everything.
games. Yeah,
Yeah. So the thing is that I don't think it's gonna kill the rivalry games, man. I don't think people are understanding the games that it's going to create. I
yeah.
mean, can you imagine seeing USC and Penn State every year, or
Well,
USC and Ohio State every year,
well,
Michigan every year?
I think the Pac-12 teams are going to be I think they're going to be exposed. Going to the Big Ten, the Big Ten is real physical, and Pac-12 was more, if you were a running back, fast receiver, surfer boy looking quarterback, you
Yeah.
know, I think the Pac-12 teams are going to be exposed for their physicality. I think they're going to have to get tougher on the lines, offense and defense.
You don't think Dan Lanning is trying to bring that physicality and everything to Oregon?
Man, right now I have no confidence in SC at all. None. I
No,
mean,
no. I mean Dan Lanning. In Oregon, you think Oregon? You think
oh,
Dan Lanning
Oregon.
bringing that
Well,
physicality?
once again, Oregon is an offensive team. They're more, they showed how great they are on the offense. So I just think every team that's coming from the Pac-12, their physicality on the line is going to have to be strong. And I was talking to my boy Tommy Watson about that. Tommy played in the Big Ten for University of Minnesota. He was a running back,
Mm-hmm.
and just the physicality, man, you could see it. You could see it. When
Yeah.
they play other teams in the Big Ten, you see how like a team like we're not even talking about the Wisconsins, them big corn
Yeah.
fed dudes, man. You know,
Well,
them
yeah,
boys.
them Nebraska, and I mean,
Yeah, yeah.
even teams, man. To be honest, even team, man, like Rutgers.
Ru- Well,
You know,
Rutgers was more Big East, so I don't think Rutgers really plays a part in the Big Ten as far as the makeup of the league, because every
yeah,
league has their makeup,
yeah,
what they're strong at, stuff
yeah.
like that. So I just think even with Rutgers, man, they're gonna have to change the way they ball because they don't get the big names as everybody else. They don't get the 4 and 5 star recruits that everybody's gonna get. Why am I gonna go to Rutgers when this other team that's 100,000 people in the stands? They're gonna get the people who fall through the cracks. You know, the people that you don't know that's really good. That's pretty good. But other than that, man, yeah, I think every team that's coming into the Big Ten is gonna have to change the way they play ball, especially SC with that terrible defense. Oh my God,
Man,
the defense is terrible.
I, I, I have a little confidence, man, in Todd Orlando, man. Todd Orlando, man.
Mhm.
When Tom Herman was at Texas, Todd Orlando, man, he had a pretty good defense, man, when they played Oklahoma, man. And I just think that he was like held hostage because Tom Herman wanted things ran a certain way. I think, man, Lincoln has to bring somebody in and give them complete control because he has no control in
Mhm.
defense. He couldn't.
Yeah,
And look, we have seen Lincoln Riley, great offensive mind. I don't think
yeah.
he's a great. I don't think he's a great coach. I think that pot man that was skilled, that was like on fire when he left Oklahoma. I think it's a little simmer now because everybody's is catching on to. I don't want to say gimmick plays, but the playbook that he got, man,
Hmm.
he tries to put his skill players in great position to excel.
Yeah.
I get that.
Yes.
But you can do that from game 1 through game 10. When you get to
Hmm.
the 12 player playoff this year, and when you start getting to your meat and potatoes of the game, you can't do that because everybody has skill set. So
Well, as we
now,
saw, Well, as
yeah,
we
go ahead.
saw last year, he was able to do it from game 1 through 6 because they started out 6-0. You know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
then
but
they ended up five.
Caleb
They
ran
ended up
for his
five and
life all
four.
those games too, man.
They ended up 5-4 in the conference, man. You know, they started out 6-0, lost the last 5 of 6 games. You know, they
But there
couldn't
again,
beat
that's what I've said. When you get to the meat and potatoes of
right.
your schedule,
Mm-hmm.
that's when you really start to figure out how good your team is. Because
Yeah,
me and you can go play Sister Mary the Blind in all these schools and do all and be, have 1,000 yards passing and all this. But then when you start playing the physical teams that have the same skill set, that the big boys in the trenches dictate the ball game. See, in the Big 12, I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. In the Big 12, the offensive linemen and offensive players ran that league. There was no defense in the Big 12. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. I mean,
well, that's where SC should have went then, the Big 12.
Well, I mean, hey, Colorado went. Utah went. And like I said, we're gonna jump into that, man. Here, I mean, we're gonna before the season starts, man, we're gonna break down every conference, man, because I'm excited about this, man, because to add Oklahoma and Texas to the SEC, then you add SMU, and I think there's someone else, SMU and someone else to the ACC, and then you're adding UCLA, USC, Washington, and Oregon to the Big Ten. And
from
then
the Pac-12 to the Big Ten,
from the Pac-12 to the Big Ten. Then you got Colorado, Utah, Arizona State going to the Big 12.
Now, don't sleep. Utah usually puts a good squad together.
No.
And that's what made me mad about. That's what made me mad about SC is SC did not win the big games last year. They lost twice to the Utah. Then they lost to UCLA, which is a rival game, and they lost to Notre Dame, which is the rival game. So they lost a lot of the big games last year. They beat up on, they barely beat Arizona State. They barely beat Arizona, who was trash. They barely beat these guys, but you're an offensive school. Your defense has to play. They have to. If you're going to have a great offense, you need that defense to get the ball into their hands. And they just never did that last year. I'm not that fan who's always thinking my team is gonna win the championship every year. We know I'm a Cowboy fan, and I'm not that Cowboy fan who's gonna sit there and say we're gonna win the Super Bowl. I'm not him. No, the Cowboy team that they have now needs to earn some respect, and they need to earn the wins and earn the fact to play on Thanksgiving, not just be giving it to them because they're giving everything to me. And so, yeah, man, it's going to be awesome of a year. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun year seeing all these teams. And then what sometimes people don't even talk about, like, the way the country is set up. Logistically, how is it going to work?
Oh, yeah. I know for a fact, man, when you have teams, the teams that came from the Pac-12 that went to the Big Ten, that's going to be a crazy travel. Because if you have a Friday game, let's say you have a Friday night game, that means you got to leave Tuesday or Monday. You'll play a game Saturday. Then you have to get on a plane Monday or Tuesday, and then you are already there practicing Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and then you play Friday. That is going to be crazy, man. And you got to drive, fly what, 18, 19 hours? Well, no, I'll probably say fly 8 or 9 hours. But you see what I'm saying, man. Just the logistics of where you have to travel to play different teams. I'm not even worried about that. I'm just a fan of it all because we finally get the 12-team playoff.
Now, I grew up in LA playing ball, man, and I couldn't imagine playing in Minnesota in January.
Dude.
I'm a West Coast dude, man.
Well, now the Rose Bowl is going to become a normal game because most times the champion from the Big Ten plays the champion from the Pac-12 to get the Rose Bowl. So now
Mm-hmm.
you can have those teams playing pretty much every week.
Yeah.
You can have a Rose game because there are going to be some games, conference games, that's going to be held there.
Yep.
So I'm just excited, man. Like I said, I'm really looking forward to this, man. This is everybody's talking about this and talking about that, and who's going to do this. I tell people that want to listen, everybody's going off last year's stats. Everybody's going
Mm-hmm.
off what so and so did last year, what so and so did last year. And you and I both know in everything is that you can't, the perception of what was last year is not going to be the perception of what it's going to be this year.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm excited about that, man.
Yeah.
I can't wait, man. We got what, 3 more weeks?
Yeah. Well, to
You
some
know,
people, it already started with that new NCAA game.
man,
Everybody been
look,
starting
man,
already.
I bought that game, man. And let me tell you, I'm terrible in that game. It's done changed so much, man, from the
Right.
old EA Sports game, man.
Right.
College football, it's done changed. I mean, you try to, do a little something, man. Nah, I ain't. I'm a stick with Call of Duty, man. I'm just
Hey, you say
going.
you say if you playing with OU on the game, they ain't got a good season, huh?
Well, you can't even play. I put OU against Army, and
Uh-huh.
it was a good game. And I'm like, man, we know Oklahoma beat the brakes off Army right
Yeah,
now,
you supposed to blow Army out.
it,
Yeah.
but it, but I like the game, man, because it doesn't matter who you pick. There ain't no advantage, and
Yeah.
and I like that. I mean, I'm not gonna
But
say anything
and then
because
the funny thing about if it was reality and you played Army like that, it's crazy how the Army and the Navy teams, even the Air Force, how you know what they're gonna do, and they
Mhm.
still do it. Like they're
Yeah,
that good. They're that good at what they do. They still, it's amazing to me.
man, nobody wants to admit this. NIL has changed everything.
Everything.
Now you ain't got to go to the Oklahomas or the Texas or the USCs or the Michigans or the Alabamas or Georgia. You can go to your community college and everything and get a good NIL deal. If the alumni is a billionaire or a millionaire, you can go and get your money and you ain't got to go far.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I tell
So,
people all the time, playing in college, man. I mean, I'm not blasting anybody. They was getting paid before NIL,
everybody was.
not as open and not as much, but there was teams that you was getting paid with them little secret handshakes where you shake an
Oh, yeah.
alumni
Oh,
hand,
yeah. Oh,
and
yeah. Oh, yeah.
where we had guys that alumni come pick them up. Oh, they're gonna go cut my grass. Really, really.
Yeah, he gonna mow your yard. You're gonna give him $1,000 to mow your yard.
Exactly. So I do feel like now it's gonna be who can pay the most. I mean, because even let's look at softball. The girl just left. She was the best pitcher. I forgot what team it was, but she just ended up going to Texas A&M
Oh,
because she got
oh,
one.
oh! You talking about? Oh no, you talking about
She got 1.2 million dollars.
Najee Kennedy. Yeah, yeah, Najee and
One
everything.
point
Yeah,
two million dollars.
yeah.
But
Well,
okay, so how
you can't mess with Texas oil money. I don't care who you is. I mean, it don't matter.
as a coach, this is going to be a great topic for us to talk about one day. How do you now coach these players who make more than some of the coaches almost? How do you tell them not to do this, not to do that? How do you coach them still? Because some people are going to be uncoachable now.
Yeah, um, man. We were talking about that on my boy Jason's show, and he was saying that it has to be it has to be faith driven, and you have to have a coach that understands that this is a business now.
Mm-hmm.
I know you want. I want to say this right, man, because I don't want to put the wrong interpretation out there about this because everybody's funny about the NIL. When you got kids, when you got kids that's now making more than their parents,
Right.
it's a. I mean, if I'm a person, I'll put you like this. I'm a yes sir, no sir kind of person. My mom and my dad
Mm-hmm.
raised me yes sir, no sir. Blah blah blah. It's not about the money for me. It really isn't. I think people forget that it is student athlete, not
Right.
athlete student. So I would always tell my daughters and everything when they went to school is find you a coach that you have something in common with, that is faith
Mm-hmm.
driven, that you can go to whenever me and your mother's not there, that is going to be like a mother to you, and that but it's going to
Mm-hmm.
give you the hard truth.
Right.
So a lot of these players, man, right now, man, they are going for the bag. They are going for the bag. We're seeing it every day. They're going for the bag. They're not going, and I think that's why Nick Saban retired. Nick Saban was like, "I'm out of here. I ain't
Oh
got
yeah,
time
he's
for
like, I ain't
all
going
this.
for this, right?
You know, well, you can't. I mean, he said it right. You can't coach them because some come in with the mindset of, "What are you going to give me to come here?" And that's the wrong interpretation. I'm a big believer, man. I'll take hard work over talent any day.
Right, right.
But
Because with hard work, you
some
can
don't
even
believe in
get
that.
better.
If you're good enough, man, the money's gonna be there.
Yeah,
It don't matter.
yeah.
I mean, the money's gonna be there. But
I
I
mean, I'm
think that
just
they're not really doing the NIL deal right. You
yeah.
should be doing something to earn that money versus just
Mm,
going to the school.
right. Yeah, I'm thinking about, man, as a coach, how, you watching people pull up to practice in BMWs and Mercedes, and
You
they
breaking
got the
up. You breaking
bling
up, Mike.
on, and
You breaking up.
huh?
You breaking up, bud. You breaking up.
Oh, you see me now? You got me?
Yeah, yeah, I got you. I got
Yeah, I'm saying, like, as a coach,
you. Now
man, it's
say it
just
again.
it's just gonna be a trip. You pulling up to practice, and the players are pulling up in BMWs, and with the bling and all. you know,
Hey man,
man.
what's the dude? What's the team in Texas had? All the guys had Lamborghinis and all that kind of stuff. Come on, man.
Yeah, man.
It,
It's gonna be so
but
crazy. Like coach, I got my money. I'm good. Like whatever. I ain't got to listen to you. I mean, I don't want to look at the worst of it. I want to look at the best of it because these guys are getting a little taste of what can happen in the future, going to the league or whatever. But like you said, how
yeah,
hard is a person gonna play knowing that they're not struggling a little bit? Because when you're struggling a little bit, you come through. You got to work hard, be in that weight room. You got to do all that, man. It's like, and then I am glad that they're not pimping the players anymore, and the school is making all the money, and nobody's making any money but the school. Like that was so crazy. I can't even go make money off of my own name. Like that's crazy. So
yeah,
I am glad that now the players are getting their just deserves. But to be a $1.2 million player in college, wow.
man. That's crazy, man. And that's what I don't think people understand, man. Is that when you give kids that kind of money early,
Yeah.
man, they tend to get in trouble, man. They tend to do things that they normally don't do because they don't have that. They don't have access to that kind of money.
Right.
But on top of that, nobody's teaching them about the tax bracket that they're in now. Nobody's teaching them
Mm-hmm.
about, you're going to have to pay taxes. You're going to have to do this. You're going to have to do that. And they're
Right.
not ready for that, man. And like I said, it's just too much right now, man, for athletes and everything to have, man, that access to that money. Because like Nick Saban said, it does change them. It does change their work ethic. It does change determination. Now it's more of, well, if you're not going to play me, I'll go somewhere else, and they'll pay me. And now you're
Right.
making money here as well. So it's just who gonna give you them biggest bag, pretty much. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Trying to make sure my phone don't go dead. I got it plugged up, but it's showing like it's not
Oh,
charging, but should be
oh no,
charging
you
now. But
good.
yeah, and then too, I look at it like, you know, you have like you said, man, you got these players, they're making all this money, and like you said, what about betting? What about a school, somebody coming to a person and saying, hey, we're giving you all this money. We need you to shave some points. We need you to do this, do that. Like, what about that? Because with money becomes corruptness. Money brings corruptness. So, it's a lot of those things too.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, man. I'm hoping and everything, man, that everything turns out the way it's supposed to for this NIL and everything. But I don't think people are putting parameters in place for
Right.
them to be successful, because if you're not paying taxes on them, or look at it like this, I get the money my freshman year. I come in, I don't play, but I'm making all this money. Somebody else says, well, the coach is not doing you right. He's not doing X, Y, and Z. Why don't you come on over here and we'll give you X, Y, and Z? So then you leave there and then go. They need to have a parameter in place that if we give you X amount of money and you decided you're going to leave before whatever, you need to pay that money back.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's just like a job. They give me a uniform and all this stuff, and when I'm getting ready to leave, they want all that stuff back, or what? I got to pay for it.
Yeah. And another side thing of that is, hey, bro, we don't gave you all this money. Yeah, you may have tweaked your knee a little bit, but no, we need you to play this coming Saturday. Yeah, we need you to play. Whatever it takes to get on this field, we don't gave you $1 million. People not looking at that either,
Low management.
That happens though in the NFL. That happens.
Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, you don't tweak your knee and you think you just gonna sit out. No, we gonna get you $1.2 million in meal money. Oh, you about to play this Saturday.
Man, you know what, man? We'll talk forever, boy. I'm gonna try to stay on track because me and you, man, we'll get on here, man. We'll go for days and everything.
That's what I told you, man. We gonna have to be formatted, bro. We have to be formatted.
Oh well, I'm gonna try to keep us on track, man. I'm trying to keep us on track because I know for a fact that it's gonna get better for me and you, man. Because like I said, right now, this is just, this is what we do. We play off
us chopping it up. Yeah, this is what we do on the phone. Yeah,
just chopping it up, man. And like I said, that's why when I brought it to you, you was like, well, let's do this. I was like, you know what, man? That's just what I needed, man. It's because you got to have a yin, you got to have a yang. You got to have somebody, man, that equals you out, that knows the same thing that you know. And like I said, I get on other podcasts with my boys and everything, man, and we chop it up, man. But it ain't like having your own, to where, not where you can dictate, but you can give your input on how you see things.
Yeah. And I like I said, man,
me and you gonna flourish that.
Oh yeah, and I look forward, man, to being your sidekick on there, man, and having fun. And like I said, I never played the D1. I was one of them guys who I probably could have played D1 in football. I just didn't have that guidance. My mom, it was just her. She didn't know to put him in this camp or put him in this camp. Back in the day, we all played at the park. For $38. But now you got all these leagues that you got to go through, making a whole bunch of money off of kids, But back in the day, man, my mom paid the little $35 and the whole neighborhood played at the park, with good and bad, So, yeah, it was just one of them things where, I know sports, man. I'm not that guy who thinks that my way of thinking is always the right way. If you got somebody that comes and has you thinking some other type of way, then yeah, you should be open to conversation. And that's what I look to having with you and having to our listeners, is just having conversations. Because like I said, I may not be privy to some type of information that you're privy to that makes me think a different way, So I'm not Mr. Know-It-All. I'm not going to come off as Mr. Know-It-All. I can give you my opinion about it. And that's how we gonna roll, man. We always kick it. We always talk crap. I still owe you a butt whooping on the shooting. I remember when we was refereeing, we would, in between games, we would shoot threes. I was like, this dude really did play some D1 ball.
We had it was just a few weeks ago, man. I was calling some AAU games. And I don't know what it is with these young kids these days, man. They feel like because you old that you just can't do it no more. And
Right.
I remember one of their parents was like, "No, you don't want to challenge Will." He's like, "Oh no, I got Will." And I was like, "Okay." And then everybody like,
Yeah.
"No, man, you don't know who you messing with." But I say
Right.
this to say that, man, is that I love the game of basketball, man. It gave me
Hmm.
it pretty much put my family and everything in a situation to where a better life. Uh, but to have a scholarship for football and basketball, it was a blessing. But to also go into the military and everything and play for the All Army team, basketball team,
Hmm.
that's where I met some of my guys that are here from. So I've been blessed and everything, man, to be able to play and do some things that I love to do. But coaching is what everybody told me I was going to do. And I was like,
Yeah.
nah, I'm never going to coach. I'm never going to
Right.
coach. I
Right.
said, because I'll choke one of them kids. But once I start, no, man, it's just that once I started coaching, man, I fell in love with it, man, because
Hmm.
you're teaching kids the basic fundamentals that everybody there ain't no coaches no more at the middle school level because everybody's trying to pick their players, trying to pick the best players. And that ain't coaching. If you're picking the best players, you just letting
Right.
them. You just game management. You're not really coaching nobody. But I
Yeah.
want the kids that want to come out there and work and put the hard work in and grind. That's what I want. So
Yeah.
no, when you come over here, man, you'll see the trophies, man, and you'll see the basketballs and things that I got, man. I mean, I'm 51, man, but I still get on that court, man. I bust their ass and everything, man. They be like, dude, where you play ball at? So don't worry about that. You just D up. Don't
Yeah.
worry about that. You just D up.
I tell people all the time, man. I say, the saying I love to say, man, there's levels to this. You can
Oh
be
yeah,
good, but then when you go, I remember playing in the gym, man, and you playing pickup games, and then you get that one guy who comes back and he plays Division 1 at some school you never even heard of. But this man is giving y'all buckets. You like, like, all right,
he
bro,
giving you the
can I pick you
biscuits.
next time? Because man, you out here floating through the lane and all this stuff. But there's levels to everything, man. I always used to say, man, I think I could play, D1 ball. But then you see someone that play D1 ball, and you like, nah, I probably would have been about D2, D3. you know?
No, I got one for you, man. We was like I said, refereeing last week, man. There was this kid, man, from Missouri. Can't say his name because I would get him in trouble with his coach and players and everything. But the dude came out there, man, and gave one team a 50 piece. A 50 piece. And when I tell you, Mike, hey, you know it's bad when you're refereeing and you really can't show favoritism. But you like, man, y'all better guard that dude, man. That dude.
Right.
And I was like, I talked to one of the parents. They was like, I said, who kid? I said, who is that? They like, oh man, that's so and so kid. I was like, man, where you go to school at? He don't go to school. He's home trained. He's homeschooled.
But was he playing on his level, or was he just that good?
He's only 17 years old.
Mm,
17
mm,
years old. And when I
man.
tell you, Mike, a 50 piece, all wings, no legs, all wings, no thighs. hey, hey, I mean, left hand, right hand, off glass, fadeaways,
Yeah.
free throws. They try. I mean,
Euro
and I'm gonna go
step,
ahead.
all that. Yeah.
No, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. This one black team tried to intimidate him. This little white
Mm-hmm.
kid. They tried to
Yeah.
intimidate him. And when I tell you, man, he gave me 50 piece. And after the ball game, man, it impressed me even more. He ran up to the coach, other coach, man, shook his hand, shook every player hand, man, grabbed his team, man, said a prayer at the half court.
Yeah. Yeah.
I said, man, I
Definitely,
said, you
man.
know what? So I told my mom and dad, I said, look, he going somewhere. They're like, well, we
Yeah.
don't. I said, just get ready because the sharks are coming for him. And they were like, no, he ain't gonna talk to no coach until them grades get up. I said, oh man, that's
And
even
see,
better. Mom and
and
dad,
see a
and
lot
so
of
like I said, great kid, man.
yeah, and see a lot of players they don't look at that part of it. You know, they look at I'm going to yell at the refs. I'm going to yell at my teammates. I'm going to yell. You got people watching you. And like you said, it's a coach out there that probably would have seen what you saw and say, I want that kid on my team because of that. You know,
Somebody's
not
always watching.
specifically just because he
Somebody's
can ball.
always watching.
Yeah, somebody's
Like
always
that's
watching. So
like that
not
song
just
goes.
because he can
Somebody's
ball,
always
but
watching you.
he can ball and he brings a personality to the team that I want on my team.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if you look at the game of basketball, and like I said, we both play it, and I don't take that elite level or whatever. Basketball. It don't really matter. If you can play, you can play. I know some guys want to play Division 2. They'll bust a Division 1, but it
Devin
don't matter.
George was Division 3.
Dude, let me tell you something. And the listeners that's gonna be listening to this, they know. Back home in Little Rock, Arkansas, every summer they have a tournament. It's called the Dunbar Tournament. It's from where kids all over the state. Keith Jackson, alumni Oklahoma. He has a gym that he hosts a Dunbar tournament in Little Rock, Arkansas. And when I tell you, man, you got about 300 or 400 kids in there playing tournaments, weekend tournaments, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. You know it's big when the radio stations are there and NBA coaches are there and college coaches are there. It's like you go there, man, and this tournament has some of the best talent that you've ever seen. But what gets me, man, is that I try to tell any student, man, any player that want to listen to me, then they say, "Oh man, coach, you nice, man. You can shoot and all that." I always ask them one thing: "What's your grades like?"
Yep.
First question. Don't ask anything else. What's your grades like? Well, we can't talk then because nobody's gonna give you a scholarship if you can't make the basic grades.
We can't even. You don't even meet eligibility to even get into school. Man, so how we gonna pull that?
I had know people.
I had It was a lady by the name of Leah, out of Minneapolis, Minnesota, and she used to do this program called Diamonds in the Rough, and they used to take Minneapolis's best girls team and go down to Chicago. There's a famous gym in Chicago called Hoops Gym. Hoops Gym is like the tournament you said. Hoops Gym has all these coaches come in for women's basketball, and I had the honor and pleasure of watching Candace Parker in the 10th grade. When I tell you, the Minneapolis girls, they were hanging when they had the first string in, but when they took the first string out, put the second string in, that's where it went downhill. Because when Chicago took their first string out, they putting a whole nother first string in. You know, you got Candace Parker 6'4" shooting threes. Like, come on, girl. Like, I mean, I'm seeing all these coaches, man. I'm just like, look how big the game has gotten where you as a coach can just go to one gym and see all this talent. The starter for Chicago, she went to USC. She was a Trojan from Chicago. She was going out west to be a Trojan. Wow. I'm like, wow. But I saw Candace Parker, man, when she was in the 10th grade at Hoops Gym in Chicago, balling.
Man, you know what? You and I both know people, and there's always that playground legend that never made it.
Yeah.
And I know you
or went to jail. One of the two, you know.
I know but man, look. So I think that's why I got into coaching, man, is because I wanted to affect change, man. I really wanted to, I coached my daughters in softball all the way up to when they got in high school. And then I was like, okay, I'm done with that. I wasn't blessed. Well, I don't want to say that. I don't want to say that. I didn't have a son. So I taught my daughters the way I was taught. And my daughters played with boys. They play with boys. They play with boys. They play with their cousins. They played and they got, Dad, he's too physical. Oh well, get back in there. Because if you can play with boys and be physical.
Mm-hmm.
When you play girls, they ain't gonna play with you. And my oldest got it. My youngest one got it.
And look what you're talking about, Coach Ricks. What does Dawn Staley do for her basketball team? They play
Oh, they play
boys.
boys.
Yeah.
They play boys. But see, Pat Summit
Well,
started
men.
it,
We'll
and they
say
gave
men.
her
They
a
play young men.
lot. They gave her a lot of bad press for that, man, because they was like, they're playing me. They try to make it, man, to where it's more of, I hate to say it, more of a sexual thing. It's like they're playing
Yeah.
boys, and you're
Yeah.
bumping on them. I'm like, y'all see the wrong thing. You don't see that she's getting these girls mentally and physically ready for the SEC and that grind. And and I
Right.
think it's nothing wrong with that, man. I mean, my dad had me playing with grown men, and I started
Mm-hmm.
whining. I'm like, Dad, they too big, too physical. He told me two things. Well, he said one thing: they're just extra big kids. Get back in there. So I was playing
Right.
grown men when I was 13, 14 years old. So when I got
Yeah.
to play kids my age, man, I'm giving them, man, like Shaq said, I'm giving them barbecue chicken. I mean, they couldn't stop me. They couldn't stop me, man. So, but we we live in an era right now, man, to where there's basketball and football are pretty much the two top sports
Mm-hmm.
right now.
They're funding. They're
Everybody's
funding
getting everybody.
everything right now.
Soccer is real big in Charlotte, which I learned when I moved here. Soccer is real big. I didn't know soccer was dead, but this big until I moved here, and I'm shocked because I'm from Oklahoma, where it's softball, basketball, football, baseball. I mean, we play all sports, but soccer was never like a main sport. You played it on the
Yeah.
summer. You played in the summer, and that was pretty much it. But now, man, you have sponsors and you have Nike camps and all this for soccer.
Yeah. Well, Adidas camps. You got all kinds of camps. Yeah. Even a sport like lacrosse. Lacrosse is becoming big in the Carolinas
Oh yeah.
also.
Oh yes.
Um,
Oh yes.
because lacrosse has always been big up north. Up north,
Yes.
it's been big, but now it's trickling down to the Carolinas. So a lot of people are playing lacrosse now too.
Yeah. Yeah. Your best schools are Duke and I think Duke and Clemson
Carolina,
and I
the
think
the women's Carolina
NC
team
State
is
and
really
Carolina.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I said, man, we're hey man, like I said, I've been on the East Coast, man, going on 13 years, man, and I'm learning every day that things are different on the East Coast and everything.
Yes.
Soccer is pretty much the dominant sport on the East Coast. Down in Texas is football. The East, those West Coast, I think West Coast is football too. I think West Coast is football too, man. I
West
mean,
Coast is football and more. Well, you know what, man? I can't. I'm not even just trying to say this because I'm from the West Coast, but we have a little bit of everything. I remember just going from season to season to season to season. I was literally the only kid in my neighborhood that went through the baseball season because nobody really played baseball. Baseball was my first love. Like I realized
gotcha.
that at my park when I was playing against little African American boys, I'm the man. They can't hit my fastball. I'm killing them. I'm just throwing one pitch. They can't hit it.
Yeah,
I make the All-Star
yeah.
team. We play a park called Ladera. Bunch of white little boys. Man, it was
Be
like a
smacking your
soul
balls out.
train. They was hitting my ball. They were roping me all over because their coaches take them to the batting cages. Like I said, there's levels to this. They're man,
Yeah.
they roping my fastball all over the place. Once they caught up to my fastball, I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But nobody was there to teach me or show me you got an excellent fastball. Now you need a change up. Now you need a
Yeah.
change up. Maybe we could throw a curve or a slurve, throw something else in there. I'm at one pitch at my park, striking out 12 and 13 guys in a game.
Wow.
But yeah,
And
like I said, there's
now you're
levels
getting
to
your
it.
stuff
There's
in.
levels to everything, man.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, West Coast is pretty much open for every sport because we have the weather, the weather to do everything. I
Yeah,
remember
y'all
summers
do
when
have
I
weather
was
for
even
everything.
I was even in summers, man, at the beach with a boogie board.
And Boogie Boy, man, come on now. Well, hey, we got no, I don't know nothing about that. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you. We got no, man. Only thing we had down there, man, is just a normal. I mean, we were just 24/7 basketball, man. Uh, that gym stayed open 24/7, man. So that Cape Jackson gym stayed open 24/7. So if you wasn't there, everybody was in the gym. Everybody was in the gym, man. I'm not gonna sit here and lie to you, man. I think football and basketball saved a lot of kids' lives, man, in the inner city, man. It's because you have these gyms that are open 24/7 that keep you out of trouble. So if you can go shoot a ball, shoot at 2 or 3 in the morning and everything, man, which my grandmother always told me nothing good is open, nothing is good happens at 12 noon, 12 midnight. So, you know, I learned that lesson the hard way. But before we get off track, man, we got 15 more minutes, man. Well, go ahead. I'm listening. No, I'm sorry. Let me make sure. See, you got it. No, what I was saying, man, we got 15 more minutes and everything. Mhm. Yeah, 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 yeah. No, yeah, yeah, man. I think everybody goes through that. To be honest, I think everybody goes through that. I think you're from the West Coast. I'm well. They call it the Mid South. From that throwing up the doves. Okay, throwing up the doves. West Side. Um, um, I think, man, that if we really want to break it down and put it to you like this, if we had more leaders to put these kids in a position to not fail, and I don't want to say fail, but put them in a situation, man, to where they wouldn't get in trouble. I think we would have a lot more players, a lot more people, man, in NFL, NBA, WNBA, and things like that because they wouldn't be in trouble. They would always be in the gym. I was always in the gym. I was always in the gym. And that was one of the things, man, that I'm blessed that I was fortunate enough to be in the gym versus getting in trouble. Oh yeah. 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 True. True. Yeah. 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 uh, you can be. I'm gonna go ahead and say because he ain't listening. Julius Thomas. I never get that name. We had a dude in college. Man, he never came to class, but he always had his straight A's. We never saw Julius in class, man. Never saw him in class ever. And then one day, man, coach was like, he said, "Why can't y'all make grades like Julius?" Man, he don't even go to class. Man, I don't want to hear that shit, man. He said, "What you mean he don't go to class? He don't even go to class, man. I don't want to hear that." But then the sad part about it, though, yeah, man, look, Julius, man, hey, he hated us, man, because we always put him on blast. Coach always want to use him as an example. Yeah, we need more guys like Julius. No, we don't. You need less guys like Julius. Julius don't know shit. Hey, more for absent and everything, hey, away, absent, everything. I hate, hey, I hated that, man. We running bleachers and everything, man. Julia's ass over there eating cookies, man. I don't want to hear that shit, man. I don't want to hear that. All right, man. We got 8 minutes left. We got 8 minutes left, man. And I wanna make sure, man. And like I said, oh no, this is good, man. Because like I said, this breaks the ice, man. Because like I said, we ain't talking so long, man, that it's just like riding a bike, man. You like when you see your brother, man, you give him the hug, give him the doubt, and then y'all just go. And my wife was like, "Who is Mike?" I was like, I know Mike. We've been going to about 6, 7 years. She was like, "Well, why don't you want to get Kev or somebody that you know longer?" I was like, "Nah, I got the right person because sometimes, man, God bring people in your lives, man, for a reason." And that day I called you, man. Remember that day I called you? I was like on this podcast, man. I said, but I'm stuck and I don't know, and I don't like not knowing something. And you were like, "Well, man, I did X, Y, and Z." I was like, "Man, God just put you in my," because you called me. I was like, "Boy, that's God work right there, man." Because I was stuck. I didn't know what I was gonna do. But now I've been doing this, man, for about a few weeks now, man. About 5, 6 episodes, man. I feel more comfortable because I knew I knew everything about the sports. It's just how was I going to present it, and how are we going to do it? So that was the main thing. But the question is, we're going to end it like this and everything. What do you see USC? What do you think their record's going to be? And then I'll give you what I think Oklahoma's record's going to be, and then we'll pretty much chop it up, and then we'll catch it again Sunday. 'Cause I'm a uh-huh. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh no. Oh yeah. 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 No, I'm. Man, look, that's what I'm trying. Like, you got tough skin. Uh, well, I'm gonna tell you, but I'm gonna give you my thing on USC, man. I ain't gonna sit here and lie to you. I have them. This is just keeping it real. I have them going 9-3. I have them. Yeah, yeah. Their first game is Sunday, September 1st. They play LSU. I know, I know, I know. Their first game is USC. I mean, well, no, he played in the bowl game last year. He won the MVP. He won the MVP in the bowl game last year. Hey, it don't care. Hey. Look here. If you throw for over 400 yards, I don't care if you throw against the wind. Yes, hey, 400 yards passing. Hey, but you gotta look at it like this. Everybody thought that Caleb ain't playing. They gonna struggle. He came right on in, man, and picked right on up where Caleb left off. So it's the system. And I'll tell anybody that want to listen, man, I don't like him, but Lincoln Riley is a damn good offensive coordinator. He's just a terrible coach. Just, well, well, here, look, I got him. I'm gonna tell you the games I got them winning. I got them beating LSU the first game. I got them beating LSU. I really do. That game is in Las Vegas. That game's in Las Vegas. So it ain't in Jerry's World. It ain't in SEC town. It's in Las Vegas. USC gonna have the crowd to go there, Las Vegas. So that's one. I got them, of course, beating Utah State. That's two. I got them beating. Wait, who's next? Make sure I get this. I'm gonna make sure I get this right because I want to make sure I get you every last single one of the games that I had down there. Bear with me right quick. I'm gonna make sure I get this right. 2024 schedule. All right. They are okay. All right. So I got them winning LSU. I got them beating Utah State. I got them losing to Michigan. I got them losing to Michigan. I got them beating Wisconsin. I got them. The game in Wisconsin and everything is at the Coliseum. That's why. That's why. If it was in Wisconsin, yeah, yeah. So that's four. Uh huh. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's crazy there. All right. I got them. That's three wins. They 3-1. I got them beating Minnesota. I got them beating Minnesota 4-1. I got them losing to Penn State. I got I got them winning against Maryland. I got them winning against Rutgers. I got them, and then their last loss, well, that game, man, with them in Washington, man, I don't know because Washington ain't the same no more since their coach left. Yeah, so I got them beating Washington. All right, that's 6, right? I got them beating Nebraska. That's gonna be a good game. Hey, all these games, well, it's in the Coliseum. All these games that are like the toss up, man, I'm giving it to them because they're playing home. Hmm. Yeah, I got them. Well, I got them beating Nebraska. I also got them beating UCLA. I got them. I got them. I got them losing to Notre Dame. That's 9-3, right? Is that 9-3? I believe so. I believe that's. He got out. Oh, where he go? Oh, I guess we lost Mike and everything, man. I'm sorry about that. I guess he popped out or the bad service and everything. So we'll try to get him back in here. If not, we'll just get ready to end it because we are already past the 1 hour and I didn't want to stay too long talking about the same things and everything. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end it right here. I appreciate everyone joining the podcast with us and everything. As you can see how me and Mike interact, we know each other very well. He knows how I play. He knows what I'm going to talk about. And it's good to have somebody that you're familiar with that can feed off you and you can talk about some things and everybody really relates. But we're going to end it right there, man. We're going to jump back on tomorrow. I told myself that I'm going to do the live uh, the live broadcast of the Fort Coffee All Stars. We're going to do that tomorrow, so I can let everyone see how we're going to do that. But I appreciate everyone coming in, helping me do this and everything, man. And I look forward to you guys coming back later to see the content that we have. It's only going to get better. This is just the beginning, but we'll get better at this. And love you guys, man. And I guess we'll talk to you guys tomorrow. But please, 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 if you can, like and subscribe to the channel and everything, man. I really appreciate it. Hit that bell so whenever we put some things out, you'll know and you can check it out for yourselves. Until then, man, Coach Rick signing off. All right, love you guys, man. Peace out.